3, 2, 1. Good afternoon. Now that we've put the wire in the right place, to finish up the amplifier circuit, we need to make sure that the wire is in place so that it doesn't just fall off. You see, without making sure that it sticks in the right place, it will fall off if I just pull it. So to do that, we use the method called soldering. As you may know already, soldering is using the soldering iron and lead to make the joint stay as we want. Now, the soldering iron is pretty hot. It's 3 times as hot as your pressing iron. This part, the metallic part, is really, really hot. So as you can see, I am only holding it in the yellow part. Make sure you hold it in the yellow part. Before you even take the soldering iron, the first thing is to do what? Put on your safety glasses. All right. So now, I said we use the soldering iron and the solder. What happens when the soldering iron touches the solder? Let's see what happens. As you can see, the solder becomes liquid. You see, the solder keeps becoming liquid. And that is exactly what happens. Now, let's now use that same principle to make the joint we want for today. All right, we want to make sure that this wire and this wire doesn't move off. This one, let's look at it closely. We want to make sure that this wire, and the second one doesn't move off that joint where it should be. Now, to do that, we need to use a solder and a soldering iron. So, gently, I'll place it down. Let's get the best view for this so that everyone can see what we're trying to do. All right, good. This is not a bad one. Okay. All right, good. Now, we'll get the solder and the soldering iron. We'll hold both of them up. Now, make sure you hold the solder far enough so that the heat doesn't burn your hand. Don't forget, the soldering iron is very, very hot. So you put the soldering iron first to heat the joint and hit the wire so that when the solder touches it, it melts straight away. All right, let's put it. Okay. Don't be scared. Just make sure the solder is in the right place. It will melt once it touches the iron. And that's it. Second joint, the same principle. Good, and that's it. Now we'll leave our joint to cool down for a while. And now, look at it. You see, the solder melted, and after leaving it to cool, has solidified again. It turned from liquid to solid. Now, you see, even if I try to pull off the wire, it won't pull off. Why? Because the solder has made it to be in place. And that is what we call soldering.